I didn't start the recording. I'm so sorry. So this particular public class cat implements the animal. So this has to provide the definition of all these three methods. Okay, so if I go back here and if I say public void eat, so here I will have to say system.of_debug cat eats cat food. Okay, that's the cat implementation, but you are bound to use this method signature. If I try to say eat one, no, that's not going to work. That will be considered as a different method, right? But you have to make sure that you at least provide the definition of all these three. If you do not, it will not let you pass this validation. Okay, so this is, you can have its own, you see, cat can have its own methods of meow meow because it does that. Okay, cat can have its own other methods, but cat is bound to have at least implementation of all these three methods which are defined in this interface, because cat says that I'm implementing animal, so means I will be responsible to provide the definition of all those methods. So similarly, you have public void eat, then you have public void sleep, and then you have public void run. So this is going to be sleep and this is going to be a run. Okay, cat sleeps 6 hours a day. Okay, and then cat runs fast. Okay, so now you have a cat class. Now here you can have its own methods. So if cat class can have its own methods as well. It can say public and here I can say system.of_debug Okay, so cat can have its own definition of an interface. Okay, so now the next thing that you have is, so this is your cat implementation. Now similarly, now if another dog class is implementing this interface, so if let's say I have another class called dog and I'm saying this dog class also is implementing if I say dog, click OK. Okay, there's already a class with a dog. Let's say we make it a tiger. Okay, and this tiger also implements, if you say it also implements what animal, then what will happen is he is responsible to provide the definition of all these methods. So these are the three different methods he needs to implement. Okay, so here would be sleep. Here we can say dog. This is the dog implementation of and he can have his own method here. Okay, he can has his own method of public void bark. And you can say bar, and we'll say system.of_debug dog barks. Okay, so now this is the own definition of this particular class. Okay, now what I go back, if I go back here, so this is the public void eat, sleep, run, etc. and then you have a bark method. Cat has also provided its own definition. So now if I go back here and if I say, if I go ahead and run this, now tell me what's going to be the output of the program. If I say animal A is equals to new of animal, can I do that? No, you cannot do that because you cannot create an object of an interface. I can always say animal A is equals to cat because cat is an animal. So you can put a small thing into a big thing. Animal is a general thing, right? Generalized object, and cat is a specific one. So you can put a small thing in a bigger cup. So similarly, animal A is equals to new cat is allowed. And if I say A dot of eat, A dot of sleep, and A dot of run. Now animal B is equals to new of dog. And now if I say B dot of eat, B dot of sleep, and B dot of run, what do you think will be the output of the program? Let me just do two things instead of doing all these. Let me just do this. What do you think will be the output of this program? Yes, very good. So now here, oh, that's a good catch. That's a good catch, Priyanka. It's going to be tiger. Very good. So now A out of eat is going to give me what? The cat class. And then B is equals to new tiger is going to give me the method definition from the tiger class. So now if I go back here and run the program, cat eats cat food and dog eats dog food. That's going to be the output of this particular program. Okay. Now if I go back, any questions on this one? And if I try to do something like this, visit allowed. If I say A dot of meow method, and if I go ahead and execute, see, this does not work. Because guys, what happens here is that, okay, so animal, see, this does not work because, see, why does it not working? See, you in a cat class, you have a meow method, right? There is a method, so it should work, but it is complaining. There's a very good reason. The reason is, see, you are trying to call animal A is equals to new of cat. What is the reference variable of type? Reference variable is of type animal. Okay, so you can, it depends on only on the reference variable which all methods you can call. Since the reference variable is of animal type, you can only call these three methods. But at the real time, what gets called is get called on the right hand side what it is. So there are two things. When you're compiling the program and when you are running the program. Compiling the program means you're checking for if there is an error or syntax, is there an issue or something. That's compiling. Okay, so once that is compiled successfully, then you go ahead and run the program. Okay, compiling the program is different than running the program. So in the compiling, what it is looking at, it's not even running it. What is happening is it's looking at this particular site and it is seeing, does it have a meow method in the animal interface? No. Since it does not have it, you cannot call the meow method even if it is there on the cat object. See, cat object has meow method, but still it is complaining because animal interface does not have a meow method. So when you call the object, the methods will be called from the real-time object, but only those methods depending upon what reference type it is. If the reference type is of cat, is of animal type, and animal does not have a meow method, you will not be able to call the meow method on the animal. But if the reference type is of cat, then you can call the cat methods here, because cat has meow method as well. So if I change it back to cat, then what will happen? Then this will run successfully. Okay, so there is a good point here. The point is, when you're calling the method gets called from that particular class, okay, whose object you are trying to pass. But you are not able to call the meow method because in the animal interface, the reference type is of animal type, and that animal interface did not have the meow method. That's why you are not able to call the meow method on that particular interface. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions? Okay, good. So next thing is, if I go ahead and create another interface, let's go ahead and close these things. I'm going to go ahead and create an Apex class, and it's called kitchen. This is nothing but an interface. And the return type is string, get model number. So now there is an interface called kitchen utility, which has a model number method which returns of type string. Now if I go back and create an Apex class, and the name of the class is, let's say, fridge. It's also a kitchen equipment. So go ahead and click fridge class here, and this fridge implements what? Implements kitchen utility. So what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to provide the definition of this particular method. Okay, so now here I'm defining a variable called private string model number. Guys, what's your consultancy's guy's name? Arvind? Yeah. So Arvind gave me a call, and he asked me to give a status report on what you guys are doing and how are you performing in the class. So I said that I will give you the output in 2 weeks, and I'll take a test, probably not this weekend but the next weekend. So I'll give you 2 weeks of time to prepare for whatever we have done so far, and I will take a test. And you guys need to give me the result, and based on your performance on the test, I'll forward that to Arvind. So that will be like a right judgment on how you guys are doing. Okay, so I will request, I'll give you 2 weeks to perform, to read whatever we have covered, go through those topics, and then and then I'll take a test, not this weekend but the next weekend, and then so I'll know how you're performing, because I need to give him a input on, because he asked me how you guys are doing and all that kind of stuff. So next thing here is, so let's go ahead and execute this. Debug, open, execute, Control A. Another Apex class called toaster implements kitchen utility okay. So in this class, if I go back here, sorry, I deleted those things. I'm making it a little more complex, but you have done all these topics together. Okay, so I'm putting everything together here. Okay, so what's going to be the output of the program? What is it?
Deepika,
Yeah.
I think you show some error
Why?
Because you're given new kitchen utility, right? So you have given
So this is kitchen
interface
utility.
there, and after that utility is equal to new kitchen utility.
No, but I'm creating an array. So basically this is a type of an array of kitchen utilities. I'm not creating an object of kitchen utility.
Okay.
This is just an array. This is not object. Is basically you do something like this. You use this operator. They use the circular braces. I'm using these ones. So I'm creating an array of kitchen utility. I'm not creating an object. I'm just creating a list of kitchen utility, and I'm passing F and T to that. Okay, now what is it? See, I'm not creating an object. This is just an array. I'm creating an array, and in that array, and those array is of type kitchen utilities. So you can think like I created. Priyanka, take a look back at it again. What is in kitchen metal utilities of 0? What is this? Excuse me. Very good, Priyanka. Priyanka is right. What about others? Abhinav, Ravi. So here the output is going to be FKK10 because what you're trying to do here is it's going to be FKK10. Now Priyanka, can you explain to me why it is? Can you talk? Okay, so what you have done is you have called fridge F is equals to new of fridge. Okay, so what is it done? Basically, it's going to call this constructor, right? And then you're passing KK100 to this MOD local variable, and then you're putting this defining this instance variable value as KK10. So model number is what? KK10. Then you are creating an object of toaster. So this is the toaster one. So you have created another object, but you have not set up his model number yet. Then you have an interface called kitchen utility, and you're not creating any object. You just have list of a kitchen utility. Okay, and then you are passing F and T to that. Now what is F? F is the reference variable of fridge. T is the reference variable of T. So kitchen utility is in list. At the index of 0 it has F in it. At index of 1 it has T in it. So one is fridge and one is toaster. Then you are saying Utilities of 0. What is that utilities of 0? That is f. So f dot of get model number. So which method will be called? The one from the fridge class get model number. Now what is the model number? Is KK10110. Now you're using f along with the KK110. So the output is going to be, so the output return is going to be FKK10. That's why the model number is FKK110. Did you get it? And now if I say 1 here, then what will happen? It's going to give me the toaster one, which is basically, which you have not set. So what it is going to give you, it's going to give you something null because you have not set it up. There is no constructor, nothing, and it's going to give you, if you go back here and if you go ahead and say debug only, it's going to give you a null with the t appended to it because you now have not set up the model number. You have not initialized the model number. Are you getting it, guys? You're not creating the object there, you were just creating a list. So you're saying so think kitchen utility as a type of data type and you're creating a list of that integers. That's it you were doing there. Okay, did you get it? See, for creating an object it has to be these flower braces, not the square braces. Okay, you're creating a list of kitchen utilities, so that list has f and t in it, and f is of what? Fridge type. T is a reference variable of type toaster. Okay, and you're saying utilities 1 means t has an index of 1, so that's why t dot of get model number. So what is the model number of t? Null, because we have not set it up, so the default constructor will be called, which will set it to null, so t of null will be called. Okay, now this is all about the interfaces. Next thing that you have here is the getters and setters, guys. So what is there in the getters and setters? It's like you don't have to write the get method and the set method. There is a shortcut that is available inside of the Apex, and that is, let's say in a fridge class, let's say you have a model number called fridge. I'm going to get rid of this implements kitchen utility, and you wanted, it's of private type. Private type means if you're trying to access this model number from outside, you will not be able to do that because the access modifier is private. Now, if I wanted to get and set those, how will I do? There is a shortcut here. You define get method and return the model number. So this is the get method definition. So this is going to go ahead and return the model number. And then if you want to set something, then you can do something like here, and you can say, give me some space here. You can say something like eco rating, or sorry, model number is equals to value. If model number is less than 0, then what you want to do, you wanted to set your own values, otherwise put the one value that you already have. Okay, so if it is less than 0, then model value would be, this is a shortcut, guys, okay, is equals to 0. So here what you're saying is get is going to is a method, and it's going to go ahead and return you this particular model number. Have a semicolon here. Okay, so this is going to be a get method, and then this is going to be a set method. Why is it complaining? It has to be inside of this. public string model number get return the model number. That's right. Why is it complaining? Let me define another one. Public So you have defined what? You have defined a variable called as, it's an instance variable inside of the fridge class, and it's a shortcut. Okay, and this, instead of saying, I don't know why there was an issue. I think there was an issue between the, because of the spaces maybe. I don't know why. It was the same thing I wrote earlier. So what you have done here, this is a shortcut. So what you have done is you have defined a variable called eco rating. Okay, this is an instance variable. It has two methods, a getter method and a setter method. Okay, in the get method you are returning the value, and in the set method you are setting up the value. Okay, so now what will happen is, in the set method you are saying that, okay, whatever the value that you that is coming back from there, put it into eco rating. If it is less than 0, then don't put it, just set it to 0. Okay, so now if I go ahead and instead of creating those get method and set method, this is like a shortcut of creating a get and a set method. So if I go back here, Control A, delete, here I will say fridge f, or fridge f is equals to new of fridge. This is my fridge here, and then I'm saying f dot of eco rating is equals to -5. Okay, and if I do that, and then I say system dot of debug eco rating is plus eco rating. Okay, and then you have fridge another, let's say if I set another value, if I try to set another value for eco rating, update it to a positive value, and then what happens is automatically the getter and setter will get called. And if you're trying to do eco rating, the get part of this will called. If you're trying to do this part, if you're trying to run this, the set will be called. So here, what is the value you're passing? -5. Okay, Abhinav, is anyone else has issue hearing me? Because I didn't do anything. So maybe you have clicked on your mute button or something. Abhinav, yeah, it looks like. I'm going to wrap it up here. Give me 2 minutes. So instead of creating a getter and setter method separately, there are two shortcuts that are available, get and set here. And what you're trying to do here, and so you're creating an object of a fridge class, and then you're saying f dot of eco rating. So when you're setting up, what will happen at this line? The setter method will be called. Okay, the setter method will be called. So what is in the setter method it's doing? So setter method is taking the value, okay, and is checking what is the value, it's -5. Then is checking if the value is less than 0, means if it's negative, then set it to 0. So if you're trying to run this, the eco rating will be 0 will get printed. And it's this line f dot eco rating, again the setter will be called. Here the get method will also be called. Okay, get method will be called because you're trying to retrieve the value. You don't have to say dot of set method, dot of get method. No, you don't have to do that. Automatically Apex is smart enough to figure out you're trying to set up a value here, and here you're trying to retrieve the value. Okay, here you're saying f dot of echo rating is equals to 10. Now what you're doing, the setter method is called again. What is the value you're trying to set is 10. It's a positive value. So automatically this part of the code will run, and what will it do? It will set the value to 10. And now if you go ahead and debug it, what will get printed? Echo rating is plus of echo rating. Then here the getter method will get called. Now tell me what will be the output, guys. What do you think will be the output of the program? Very good, Priyanka. Abhinav and Ravi, what do you think will be the output of this program? Abhinav and Ravi. So this is going to be this is going to give you the output of 0, and it's going to give you an output of 10. So this is a shortcut of creating a getter method. Variable does not exist, echo rating. Is there a spelling mistake? Where is it? Where? Here? Where is the error, Priyanka? Oh, it's going to be f dot of echo rating. That's why. So now if I go ahead and execute, yeah, so that was f dot, because I was trying to use the instance variables, right? So that's why you have to use the object name. Let me run it one more time. A little slow or something. But the output is this. Any questions on how to do this setter and getter? Okay, I don't know why, but I have to restart it or whatever. But okay, for tomorrow, so all this till now, what we have covered till interfaces were the basics of programming. Okay, every programming language will have these interfaces, methods, classes, etc. Okay, so from tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and talk about this something related to the standard objects like S objects and all that in Apex. Okay, so those will be specifically to Apex. Okay, and for that I need to have some okay, so I think the output is here. It's 0 and 10. Okay, so now the thing is, from tomorrow I need to have some predefined objects created, which I don't have right now. So I need to install the application on my Apex, and then we can continue from there. I have another question, guys. Are you guys available in the daytime around, like, if let's say um, or we can meet at the same time like today. We can meet at like 9 to 10 or whatever time we met today. Because I have another one. Okay, so we can meet same time tomorrow as well, from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Okay? Will that work for everyone? Abhinav, and let me know by okay. Can go before two if that fits for you. The thing is, I have a batch from 7:15 to 9:15. So basically it's 8:15 to 10:15 tomorrow, or I can finish it up at 10, and we can do from 10 to 11.
Is it CST or EST?
It's 8 to 10, 10 to 11 EST.
EST.
So same time as today's.
Yeah, it will work.
It'll work? Okay then, so I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about those S objects, standard objects and all that. So
Can I show you something? Can I share my screen?
yeah, let me give you access.
Okay.